What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having an amazing day. In this video, I'm going to be looking at Thompson at OTE. Now, first thing I want to say, I'm not a fan of OTE. I think it's just a bunch of very good basketball players, and it's just like an all-star game. I don't think it's very organized. So that's why I'm not the biggest fan of it, but there's definitely some things you can look and take. And obviously, NBA teams are going to be looking at what they think can translate to their game, and that's what I'm going to be doing with Thompson. Now, let's get right into it. Now, first thing I want to look at is his stats. You see 16 and a half points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2.5 steals, and 1 block per game. This is the first thing you see when you look up Ahmed Thompson's stats, but something I really want to look at is the shooting percentages. Right here, we see free throw is at 65.5%. That is not good. And this is his three-point percentage, 25%. He's not shooting a ton of them, but he's just not a great shooter yet. And if he get that jumper, he's gonna be a problem. But one of my biggest things is 3 turnovers a game and then 5 per 40. That is very, very bad. But that's something that you're just gonna have to get with OTE. Like I said, it's just like an all-star game, and I know these kids really care about it, but it's just it's hard for me to think that this is organized basketball where they have some weird rules, and it's just it doesn't look like real basketball when you actually sit down and watch the game. But there's obviously some things you can take away though. So here we're going to synergy. This is, like I always say in every video, this is just numbers and percentages. This does not tell the whole story, but something that does make me not really concerned, but it's just something to think about. Is you look at most of his offensive possessions, most of them are in transition. This is about a 40 possession gap right here between transition and pick and roll ball handler. So most of the stuff he's getting is in transition. But once you get to like the playoffs in basketball, and especially the NBA, it starts slowing down. You have to play in the half court. So eventually he's gonna have to start getting more of these in the pick and roll ball handler than transition. But we can take a look at it. We see transition excellent, pick and roll ball handler average, spot up average, isolation excellent, cut excellent, miscellaneous plays average, and then offensive rebounds below average. Like I always say, I will always say this, it does not say the whole story. But first thing I want to say is his athleticism is like pretty insane. This play doesn't show the full athleticism that he has, but he has hops that are just out of this world. Now, I want to get into his shooting form. Now, this was from late October, so this was obviously a little bit while ago. You're gonna see here he shoots the ball, and his jumper just doesn't look fluid. You see his left hand is all the way back here, and his right arm is going more towards the right than actually towards the basket, which is why he missed right. But now a more recent jumper that I saw was here in this game. What date was this? This was February 23rd, so 2 days ago from when I'm recording this. You see him, he comes off the screen, and he's just really confident. You see here, both hands were up, hand in the cookie jar, left hand was flat, and he gets that to go. He looked a lot more confident there, and I've seen some more clips of his shooting form where he just looks more fluid, and that's something that you love to see. And I hope that's something that he can continue, and by the time he does his workouts with NBA teams, they can say he's a good enough shooter, or they see that he can be a good enough shooter. Now here, I think his playmaking I don't think he's a great playmaker. I don't think he's a great playmaker yet. But I know a lot of people do. But I'm not going to take away any credit. He has shown potential to be a very good playmaker. I think he's good right now. He's shown potential just like this play here. Comes off the screen, feeds him, good patience, lay. That's good playmaking. Now we're going to get into this next play. I believe, this is the turnover. So I see a lot of his turnovers coming out like this. So he's coming down, and he tries to split this gap. This is where a lot of his turnovers come. And this is also where a lot of his highlight plays come. Yeah, I know everybody loves to see his highlights because he's a joy to watch. When he does something cool, it's awesome to watch. But he tries to split this gap between 2 defenders, and he just turns the ball over. Like that in the NBA, it's going to be hard to do something like that. but also in the NBA, it's a lot more drop coverage. So this mid-range area, he's gonna have to learn how to hit that jumper, and a lot of teams are gonna be going under the screen, so he's gonna have to hit those three balls, which is hopefully something he'll learn. Uh, Now we're gonna get into defense. Now this is where he can make his money is on defense. He can make most of what he does and what he can pride himself in is defense. But I still see some flaws in his game. I'm gonna show you three straight plays right here. These first plays, one, two, three, they're there are a lot of he's not very aware of where the screen is, and he ends up getting hit by the screen pretty hard. And I just want to see him be more aware of boom, he gets hit by it, and he's taken out of the play basically. And now we're gonna look at the next one. He's right here, and he's gonna end up he's taken out of the play again. You see, that's another open shot. I want him to be more aware of these screens. And last one right here, he's gonna be taken out of the play one more time. Boom, and he's all the way back here now, which is, a lot of people say he's a very good defender, which I think he's a good defender with potential to be a great one. Obviously 6'7", that that helps him a lot, and with the bounce he has, if he can just lock in every play on defense and pride himself in taking the best player out of the game in the NBA, he's going to make a lot of money doing that, especially with his playmaking ability. But now here, this is where he can be, this is sign of being a good defender. Right here, you can see it, he helps, right here, helps, and now he's gonna get all the way back out there and get a good hand up. See, he has long arms. He's a lengthy player. He has long arms, and he gets a good contest, which forces that miss, and he's fast, so he's able to go from the middle of the paint to all the way to the three-point line and get a very good contest. Maybe even got a tip on it. Now we're gonna get into his last play right here. Right here, this is what he can do very well. He has active hands, which is I think why most people say he's a very good defender. It's because he has active hands. Right here, you're gonna see him against Rob Dillingham. His hands active, poke, and he eventually gets that steal, and now that's just leads to the easy done. Now that's like I said, I think that's where he's gonna make his money. Now that's gonna do it for all the film on Amen Thompson. I think he could be a top 5 pick in the right situation. I really want to see him. I would love to see him in Orlando. I think we could play very fast. I love to see him with Paulo, or even like a Spurs where they're not the biggest, flashiest team. So maybe he can work in that form, and there's not going to be as many critiques. There's not many people talking about the Spurs. But like I said, he does need to work on that jumper, and there's just little things that he needs to work on. But kids at this age, they're all going to need to work on something. So I'm not trying to bash him about anything because every player in this year's draft has something to work on. So that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm gonna catch you guys the next time. Peace.